I want to talk to you today about the lawn. Is your lawn spongy, soft, squishy? Any of these things describe it? There's a few reasons why a lawn will get squishy or spongy or springy or all of the S words. One of them is oversaturation. So you could have mud, you could have poor drainage, but the purpose of this video is to not talk about that. You probably understand that you've got poor drainage if you have it. If you're asking the question why your lawn is squishy and when you walk on it, it doesn't seem muddy, the problem is obviously more complicated. Certainly it's more confusing. My lawn was sodded about 2.5 years ago. Portions of my lawn are in very good shape, and from far away everything looks very healthy and there's no problems. But upon close inspection, especially with various parts of my lawn, you're going to find that there are some places that are quite squishy. They're very soft. When you step on them, it feels like your foot is sinking into the ground, even though it's just sitting on top of the soil. In fact, when you squish some of these areas, like if you just push down on an area, other parts of the grass move. So if you've got a lawn that's like that, the problem is probably not oversaturation. The problem is probably thatch. Now, you might not have ever heard of the term of thatch before, but thatch is essentially not the grass, and it's not the soil under the grass, and it's not even the dead grass clippings that fall onto the ground when you cut the grass. It's everything under the surface that you step on, but sitting on top of the soil. It tends to be dead roots. It tends to be dead stolons. It tends to be dead rhizomes. And it tends to be basically these fibrous organic materials that are left over from, in my case, from a sod installation. But it doesn't have to be like that. It's essentially a poor watering practice that maybe isn't even your fault. Maybe it happened years before, but it results in really shallow root growth, and those roots grow up to the surface, or they stay at the surface and then they die. And then all of the fresh living roots stay in that material, and the old thatch never breaks down because of there's just too much of a buildup. So when you've got a squishy lawn, for one, it can look nice, but it also can be very hard to maintain. It's going to require lots of water. It's going to require an enormous amount of nutrients, because even if you feed it with fertilizers, lawn foods, if you put weed control down, the problem is all of the stuff that you put on it, assuming it's not absorbed by the leaf itself, is going to fall under the canopy of the grass blades and then sit right on top of the thatch layer. Basically, it's never going to go down to the soil and get into the root system of the grass. Now, if you water a lot, you'll find that squishy thatch-filled lawns require an excessive amount of water, because that thatch layer acts like a literal sponge. It will hold water, just like the sponge will on your kitchen counter. So to get water all the way to the soil, you have to water an enormous amount to fully saturate that thatch layer before the water will start trickling down into the soil itself. It basically breeds more and more and more shallow roots. Now, there are tools that you can go out and rent that will basically scrape the thatch off of the ground. There are also just hand tools that you can buy that you can scratch the surface up. Scarify or power raking, these are terms that are thrown around that are supposed to help remedy a thatch problem. However, once your lawn gets to the point where it truly is really bouncy, like it almost feels like a carpet that you can pick up off the ground, even though it's attached, like it feels like you could be able to. Once it gets that bad, these machines really aren't going to do the job without ripping all of your grass off of the soil surface. So much of the root system is intertwined in the thatch layer that it just won't come out without ripping the grass out. Now, maybe it's fine to just rip everything out and completely start over from scratch, but that's a pretty labor-intensive, costly process that is probably not going to be doable for most people. For me, I've got a family that uses this yard quite a bit. I've got animals, I've got dogs. I can't take the time to just overhaul an entire yard because I've got patchy areas of really, really bad thatch. So what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks is I'm going to be applying 3 different liquid thatch removal products. I've never used any of these products before, and I'm going to basically find 3 somewhat similar patches of bad thatch in my yard, and I'm going to use each product, one for each patch. All right, I need to cut in here for a second. A couple days ago, I made the video that you had just been watching till right now. I finally got the products in the mail that I wanted to use. There's a product here called Nature's Biological Dethatcher. This is, it says right there on the label, helps break down and decompose thatch. Contains a proprietary blend of carbonic enzymes and bacterial species designed to help break down and decompose thatch, grass clippings, and compost. So, this came with a little hose and sprayer nozzle. I may use that, or I may use the hose and sprayer that I've got in the garage. But I'm going to use this. This they sell on their website, natureslawn.com, and I believe they also sell on Amazon. I also picked up this product called Lon Dethatcher from Lonstar. I've never used any Lonstar products before, and they've got a very extensive line. This I bought on Amazon. I'm sure they probably have a website also, getlonstar.com. And I also got the Next Dethatch product, and this is, I mean, these are all basically the same stuff, really. You've got humic acid, molasses, yeast blends. In the dethatch, you've got fulvic acid, molasses, seaweed extract, enzymes in the Lonstar. And you've got a proprietary blend of carbonic enzymes and bacterial species in this. All 3 of these are essentially, you spray it on with either a big backpack sprayer or a sprayer can, hose end sprayer. But they make the little small pump things. I picked up a couple of those things at my local Grange for $5 to $10. I'm going to apply these to 3 different sections. They're all 3. They're supposed to break down everything that's in the lawn. They'll probably add a little bit of bacteria. They'll add some enzymes. They'll add some microbes, and then the other ingredients are supposed to encourage the flourishment of what's already in the lawn to start melting, eating away, and just generally composting the thatch that's already in the lawn. So, which one's going to work the best? I don't know. But follow along in future videos, and we'll see. Now, you can't apply these liquid products. I mean, you can apply these liquid products at any point in time, but the manufacturers do say that they work better in hot weather. So over the next week or so, right now it's July, we're supposed to have upper 80s and low 90s here where I live. We don't get into the 90s very often, so I've got a small window of time that I can apply these products. Portions of my lawn are bad enough that I feel like I'm going to need a few applications. So I'm going to be trying my best to apply these products once every 3 weeks all the way to the end of August. That should be an application about now, another application in early August, and another application at the very, very end of August. And then, come September, we'll take a look at the results. Again, I've never used any of these products before, and I don't care which one works the best. I hope you'll follow along, hit the subscribe button, and wait for those future updates on how this, I'm going to call it a case study, shakes out.
I kind of pushed it down a little.
Yeah? Try again. What you trying to do?
I'm trying to dig a hole with this too.
Yeah? What for?
So I can Dad, was it?
I don't know. I don't know what for. So you can pull some grass out of the ground?
To pull some grass out of the ground.
Okay.